This is Spring Valley, a small village located in Rockland County, New York. Today, we'll be riding NJT's Pascack Valley Line south to Secaucus Junction. Spring Valley is the northernmost terminal for NJ Transit's Pascack Valley Line. The station itself looks very run down. I didn't want to record in there because there were a ton of people in there and it smelled like drugs. The depot houses a tiny restaurant along with two broken vending machines and two sets of doors that lead to the platform and the parking lot. Our train today is train 1632, the last afternoon train of the day, arriving at 3:54 p.m. and terminating at Hoboken. The platform itself looks decent, with plenty of space for passengers and an accessible wheelchair platform at the far end of the station. It pairs extremely well with today's snowy weather though, so it looks much nicer. Spring Valley is actually a Metro North station, but NJ Transit trains run here all the time. This is because Metro North runs joint operations on this line with New Jersey Transit, so further service to New York can be provided. The accessible wheelchair platform looks rather adorable, considering it's a tiny platform and a singular bench. You can also have very pleasant views of the tracks ahead from this little platform. Our route today starts at Spring Valley, New York. It crosses Nanuet and Pearl River before entering New Jersey's most northern town of Montvale. It then continues downstairs into Park Ridge, Woodcliff Lake, Hillsdale, Westwood, Emerson, Oradell, and River Edge before entering the big city of Hackensack, and then we cross into Hasbrook Heights and Woodridge before arriving at Secaucus. Our ticket today cost $9.75, and with the ticket in hand, I rushed over to the platforms when I heard the crossing gates go down. At the moment, I thought our train was extremely early, but it turns out it was just a crossing malfunction. Today's weather was freezing, but as of recording this video, it was a Friday and I had the day off from school, and it was currently snowing, so I took advantage of the snow, and here we are now. Spring Valley Station also serves as a bus terminal, serving short line and intercity buses across New York and New Jersey. During construction of the Erie Railroad, residents of what would later become Spring Valley demanded a station at the site of a farm road crossing. The residents felt that Eliezer Lord had chosen to give preference to the area at Muncie because he owned 8.5 acres in that area. They wanted to access shipping via the railroad, but the railroad would not promise service even if the farmers built their own waiting shanty. The farmers did indeed construct their own station, a 10 by 11 foot platform with the wooden shanty. The station, which was named Pascack by the railroad, soon became a store run by a local named Henry Eisman. Once passenger service started, Eisman was evicted from the shanty, having to run his shop elsewhere in the area. The name Spring Valley was created by Isaac Springstead, a local farmer who suggested the new name. With the new name change, a station sign was nailed to the nearby tree with the name Spring Valley. In the distance, we see our train leaving the nearby yard just before the railway crossing. With that said, our train is finally here, and it's the only train of the day with the multi-level consist, so we can expect great views from the top. train is all Bombardier, with multi-level cab car number 7001 leading the train, and trailing behind is Bombardier Out 45 DP number 4557. The train was extremely quick to depart. I struggled immensely to find a good car for the journey since the cab car was locked, because of course it was, and every other car had dirty windows, so I just had to settle for a decent window seat in a random car. Seats on the multi-level coach are airline style, so it's a 2+2 seating arrangement, but don't provide much room between your legs in the next seat, but they do provide headrests, in which the one in front of me was a little dirty. Our ride down to Secaucus Junction will take exactly 1 hour, so I encourage you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the snowy views of the different villages, mountains, and lakes of northern Jersey. While en route to our last station in the state of New York, which is Pearl River, I spotted a small herd of deer running around in the distance, but was too slow to start recording since the train was moving quote-unquote too quickly to get a good glimpse at them. After a few miles, we reach our first new form of civilization, if you will, as we exit the state of New York and enter New Jersey, stopping at the town of Montvale. Railroad service in Montvale began on May 27, 1871, when railroad service from Hillsdale was extended to the Junction with the Erie Railroad Piedmont branch at Nanuet on the Hackensack and New York Extension Railroad. The original depot at Montvale exploded on October 11, 1921, when a local pyrotechnic lit the station and a nearby real estate office on fire that morning, resulting in complete demolition of the building. It was rebuilt a few decades later. Making a stop at Park Ridge, we can spot the original Park Ridge Station Depot that dates back all the way back to the Erie days. First built in 1871, it still serves as both a waiting area and a museum for commuters.
The next station is Woodcliff Lake.
Woodcliff Lake is our next stop and is easily the most scenic spot on today's journey. From just outside of Park Ridge, New Jersey, to the outer reaches of Hillsdale, New Jersey, we run beside the beautiful Woodcliff Lake, which looks to be half frozen. This location is a known attraction across all three of the small villages, but unfortunately fishing isn't really allowed on that lake. The borough was incorporated in 1894 under the name of Woodcliff. The word lake was appended to the name in 1910 to be the same as of that of the post office. Today, it thrives as a rich and upscale village just 18 miles out from New York City. Hillsdale is our next stop, which used to be a terminal station for this line. Hillsdale was the original headquarters and terminus station on the New Jersey and New York Railroad during the second half of the 19th century, but of course this was changed in 1896 when it was extended to the current route we have today. While on our way to Westwood, I was fortunate enough to see an abandoned Kmart store. And a part of me was kind of sad because of the childhood memories I had with different Kmart stores. All good things have to come to an end at some point. Even if we're nearly halfway through our journey already, let's take a moment and review today's train en route. We're riding NJ Transit Pascack Valley Line train number 1632. It's powered by Bombardier L45 DP number 4557, however it's pushing the train. Leading the train is multi-level cab car number 7001. 4557 has two Caterpillar 3512 CHD V12 diesel engines, putting out 2,736 horsepower in its diesel configuration. The locomotive has a top speed of 100 miles per hour in diesel mode and 110 miles per hour in electric mode. The cab car has a top speed of 110 miles per hour. I'm not sure what the track speeds are for this line, so I'm going to assume it's between 50 and 60 miles per hour, which is only half of what these units are capable of. The distance between Spring Valley and Hoboken is 34 miles, with 18 stops total, terminals included. Our journey is from Spring Valley to Secaucus, which is only 17 stops and a distance of 31 miles. Travel time from Hoboken is around 1 hour and 15 minutes, while our journey only takes 1 hour.
The next station is River Edge.
Our next stop is River Edge. This station was named by a committee of donors that helped to fund the building of the new station and voted to name it River Edge. There's another station in River Edge that we'll be stopping at next called New Bridge Landing, which is where a few occasional weekday trains terminate, which I find a little strange. After River Edge, we enter the big city of Hackensack.
This weekend, I'm getting
The train starts to get very busy as we approach New Bridge Landing, which is understandable, since it's the last afternoon Hoboken-bound train of the day. Around the time of filming, rush hour had just begun.
And then I click, but are you going to run into the problem?
Between New Bridge Landing and Anderson Street lies an abandoned former station called Fairmount Avenue that closed in 1983. It now serves as an ice cream shop called Cranberry Junction. Kinda cool that it's not rusting away.
But they were in a bad crowd. And so then like everybody had the card and
Each station stop is Anderson Street.
so then they were just kind of like, I'm not really getting education. I'm not enjoying this anymore. And then like,
Anderson Street is the first of two current stations in Hackensack. Anderson Street is the hotspot to most of the Pascack Valley Line rail fans. The station building is actually recently built because the old former Erie depot that lasted over 130 years burned down in 2009, being first built in 1870. The new station building was built in 2014. As the city lights slowly begin to pull in, we enter Essex Street, our other major station in Hackensack. Essex Street was actually known as the original station of Hackensack. The original Hackensack depot was built in 1861 and burned down in 1969. The current station was built in 2002 and currently has connections to 9 different NJ Transit bus routes. At this time, the train is bustling with passengers, with the coachman being almost completely full. Teterboro is the next stop, which is not only the least used station on this line, but it's the least used in the entirety of Bergen County. You can definitely expect a video on this station soon, as there's quite a mystery behind it.
She means well, and every time she's more than happy. And then like I kind of was like, okay, can I call you out on that? And then she was like, no, but yes. Just the way she changes. But so then I was like, yeah. So then I explained to her, and I'm like, yeah, like, say something, just like, make excuses for reality. So she was pretty cut in here. Like, the other people looking at it. Somebody else took the land without their consent. They're literally colonizing our areas. And then, and then, basically, okay, that's true. I'm gonna do research. And now she's very vocal about houses. So it's like, that's great. She's like, I remember my roots, and I like the song, and I want to better.
Woodridge is the final stop before our journey ends. The next stop is at Secaucus Junction, which is where we'll be getting off. Woodridge is the first real Pascack Valley Line station, and it has quite a history behind it. It was formerly known as Woodridge Moonachie, given the station was and still is located on Moonachie Avenue. The original depot lasted just over a century, being built in 1861 and demolished in 1967 due to the construction of New Jersey Route 17. Also because of this, 2 of its former neighboring stations, Hasbrook Heights and Karlstadt, were both demolished the same year. It wasn't until 1997 when the funds for a new depot were finally obtained, and that small depot still stands today. Woodridge is the only station to serve its namesake town. That was, however, until 2016, when Westmont Station was built for the Bergen County line.
The next station is Secaucus. When leaving the train, please watch your gap.
The announcements say our stop is next, which is true, but we won't get there for quite a bit, because we have to join the Bergen and main lines at Pascack Junction and run along that line, as it's the only way into Secaucus. Picking up a bit of speed, the sun continues to set on the snowy day with more city lights beginning to shine. As you can tell by the endless wheat fields of the New Jersey wetlands, we're now on the Maine and Bergen county lines for only a short distance. As I said earlier, this is our only way to get into the station, as the PVL doesn't branch off immediately after going out of the platform. It has to run on the Maine and Bergen for a very short distance before branching off.
There's so many people who do it, like, it's pretty lucrative. But, like, I don't know, I think the important thing is, like, it's becoming very saturated. And on top of that, because it's so saturated, you're very disposable. LPs, license, privacy.
We also cross the Hackensack River, which is a river that connects many major cities in New Jersey, such as Ramapo, Whippany, and Pascack. It's a separate river from the Hudson, as it branches off at New City, New York, and flows into Jersey City, ending at Newark Bay.
Like, my thing is, I just want to, like, focus on trees.
We're now on our final stretch of track into Secaucus, but we're going rather slow, so let's speed up the process a little bit. We've now arrived at Secaucus Junction. Since I had a bit of time on my hands, I headed over to the front of the platform yet again to get a shot of the train leading towards Hoboken with a friendly engineer.
Emerson, Westwood, Hillsdale, Woodcliff, Park Ridge, Montvale, Pearl River, Nanuet, and Spring Valley. Please stand back from the yellow line and please watch the gap on boarding the train.
Little did I know, another Pascack Valley train, number 1634, was pulling in right on time, a local train northbound to Spring Valley, led by EMD GP40PH-2B number 4217. Now it's time for a station tour. The first escalator leads to a waiting room for all lower level tracks, with different paintings, photos, and drawings of New Jersey and restrooms. It also includes ticket vending machines and another escalator that leads you upstairs into the main concourse. Upstairs, we find a gigantic and beautiful main concourse with pathways that connect you to both levels of the station. The upper level serves the Northeast Corridor, Morrison, Essex, Montclair, and North Jersey coastline, and the lower level serves pretty much everything else. There's an immense amount of convenience stores like Dunkin' Donuts, a whole pharmacy, a grocery store, and tons of other goodies. The Raritan Valley line occasionally stops here as well for service to New York, and it uses the lower level because it's an entirely diesel line. Though the lower level only serves trains to Hoboken, it uses the waterfront connection to get into New York Penn. Looking above, we find the beautiful glass window pattern shining above everything else. All the departure boards above the stairwells display a train's destination, the line it's running on, and its next stop, which is convenient enough. There's also a huge screen displaying every single departure of every line on every single track to make departures easier to look at for thousands of commuters each day. Now that our trip is finally complete, it's now time to end today's video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this or other videos that I've planned, make sure to subscribe as usual, like, or comment. For now, I'll see you all soon, and thanks very much for watching.